I've never reviewed a wireless mic system on this channel before, so it's gonna be fun and probably a short one, but maybe not, knowing me. It does one thing, or does it? The Comica BoomX-D Pro D2 wireless lav microphone system. We're getting into it. It's 512% nerdy stuff, and it's coming right up. So, good day and welcome to the Time Preservation Society. I'm Bane. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can be notified the minute new content drops. Cheers. So this is the sound of the Comica wireless lav system. Comica. I want to say Comica. I think I'm going to screw up and call it Comica because that's what I think it is, because I only read it. But this is the sound of the Comica. I believe that's right, and if I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. Comica. It's 2 lav mics, 2 transmitters, and a receiver, and some goodies. I decided to do something I have never done on this channel, and that is pipe the audio directly into the camera that you're recording on right now during the entire duration of this video. So you're hearing the complete Comica wireless lav system right now as is. No special anything. This is the sound going through this little transmitter into a receiver into the camera. Straight up. No special anything. So here's a little history of Comica. Comica is a Chinese audio product company that has been in the game since 2012, which was Avengers and Skyfall ago. That's a 007. If you're into audio, you've probably heard of Comica, as you've seen their products everywhere. I see them on Amazon all the time. Amazon's always trying to sell me something from Comica. They have a very small company history written out on their website, but I did want to read you verbatim the very last paragraph there. Our mission is self-R&D. Continuous creation, quality first, win-win. Expect your cooperation with us. You will cooperate with us. Expect it. This is obviously a bad translation, but I always get a kick out of bad translations, even from English to another language. Words. Before I go further, I'm going to show you this system so you can see what we're talking about. So let's have a look at it. I love that this kit comes with its own semi-hard shell zipper case. Inside the case, you'll find an instruction book package complete with a reset pin. You'll also find the receiver and 2 transmitters. It has 2 lav mics and an assortment of cables, mics, pop filters, and furries in the pouch here. There's a 3.5mm coiled TRS camera cable to pipe your audio from the receiver to a camera or audio recorder. There's also a 3.5mm coiled TRRS phone cable to pipe audio from the receiver to a phone. A USB-A to 3 USB-C charging cable that will allow you to charge all 3 units simultaneously and also pipe digital audio directly into your computer or device with the appropriate third-party cable, of course. And 2 furries that clip onto the transmitter mics, but they'll also fit over the lav mics as long as you leave the foam pop screens on. I have to say, this is a really nice complete kit. They really thought this one through. I also really like the mesh pouch so you can see what you're looking for. Nice touch. The transmitters are very small. They're all black and made of plastic. I do fear dropping these though. They don't seem too robust like I am. I'm robust. The front features the name and model number and a little screen at the bottom. We'll get into that in a minute. On the one side is a power up, mute button, and also a pairing button. On the other side is a USB-C port and a record button. We'll also get into that too. The top has a built-in microphone for use without a lav mic attached, and also a 3.5mm plug-in powered mic input jack. The back has a handy belt clip, and if you look closely you can see that the clip has some teeth in there for better grip. That's cool. The receiver is the same size and has the same little screen, but at the top. The one side has a power-up mode button and both an A and B button to change the input gain to the receiver of each transmitter. The other side features a USB-C port. The top of the receiver has both a headphone output and a line level signal output to go out to your camera or recorder or whatever. When you long press the power button on the receiver, it powers up in about 2 seconds. We can see the little color screen come to life. We can now see the status of the device. The signal strength, the mute on or off, the link to the receiver, the battery level, the recording indicator, the recording time, the designation of which transmitter it is, A or B, and a signal level. I'm not sure what kind of levels these are or what they represent, but they appear to be peaking often, and there doesn't seem to be any way to lower the input volume. The receiver has an input volume control, but that just controls how hot the incoming signal is into the receiver and not the transmitter mic gain. There's a huge difference. So you can see the signal levels of each transmitter here. Each transmitter can record right on the transmitter before transmitting to the receiver. So if you had a great take, but maybe the signal got all muddy or dropped out for a second there, you can save the take since you've got a backup copy recorded right on the transmitter itself. It's a great feature. I'm glad they put that in there. The transmitters each weigh 31 grams and the receiver weighs 29 grams. They are incredibly light. Too light. They measure, oh, hold on a second, let me just find my trusty old measuring tape here. You know, this measuring tape was handmade by an old fisherman named Quint. I picked it up on a lobster boat called the Orca back in '75. Anyway, both transmitters and the receiver measure 55 millimeters tall, 38 millimeters wide, and 18 millimeters thick. Millimeters. Okay, so what do you think of the sound? You've been hearing the included lav mic plugged into the transmitter this whole time. Let's hear the built-in mic. Can we do that while I'm running? Why not? Let's try it. Okay, so now you're hearing the built-in mic that comes with it. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. This is that sound. What do you think? I have no idea what you're hearing right now because, well, I'll explain very soon. So, yeah, this is the sound of that. I can't say that I fully enjoy either the included lav or the built-in mic, but that's okay. I would never buy this kit for that purpose. But you might be interested in this kit just as it comes, so that's the sound of this. Alright, what happens when we swap out the included mic with a Clippy EM172 mic? Let's find out. So here's the sound of the Clippy EM172 mic, which I really enjoy normally. But there is a slight problem with that. And now for the big test. Let's go outside and see how these guys work out there. All right, so we're outside here at railroad tracks that are actually still in operation. Or they are, right? So let's not get run over by a train. All right, so here is a distance test. So I'm currently around 8 feet from the camera, and this is the sound. And let's go maybe to 10 right here. Okay, facing the camera, and we're gonna go a little further. So I'm a good 20 feet from the camera right now on the railroad tracks of death. And now we're going to go a little further. How does it sound? I'm going to turn around, see if my body blocks the signal or you're getting any interference. So there you go. About 30 feet, and here we are. I'm also running backup recording right on the device, so we are doing that as well. So let's go further. So we're about 40 feet away. Is that 40 feet? I don't know. Who goes by feet? Okay, so let's go another. Okay, so direct line of sight. We are now at about 50 feet. Let's do a turn. And okay, so now my huge bode is should be blocking the transmitter. So let's see what this sounds like. All right, go more. Okay, we're out around 60 feet. And we're seeing what this sounds like. How does that sound? Let's use my body to block the transmitter. And here we are. Do a turn all the way around. We getting any interference? I don't know. Let's go further. What are we, 70 feet? I don't know. Who even knows? Okay, so we're like, yeah, it's got to be around 70 feet away. And I'm using a 45 millimeter lens right now, so if it's out of proportion, that's why. So here we are at 70 feet. Let's do a turnaround, block the signal with my bode. Turn around, let's go a little more. We're at about 80 feet. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Let's turn around, block the signal with the bode. Turn around all the way, 80. It's about 80 feet, I think. I don't know counting. Direct line of sight, around 80 feet away. Could be 85. Let's block the signal with my bode. Spin around and let's go the distance all the way just around 100. We should be losing signal now. If I'm around 90, 95, somewhere around there. So if we're still going and you're still hear me, then that's good. If I've switched over to the recording on the device, then that's what this sounds like, going directly into the device, using the device to record. Okay, one more shot. Yeah, we're definitely 100 feet away. So, you know what I should do? So I'm going to take a picture to show how far I am from the camera. Actually, I'll use video. Here we are. Yeah. And there you go. And let's turn around. So I'm blocking the transmitter with my body. A bode. And we're just going the distance now, just doing some walking. And we're going to see how far. This should be good. I mean, this is a long ways away. So let's start heading back. So that was the test. Let's go back to the studio and see what we've got. I have no idea. Let's find out. And there you have it. I'm back on the Comica kit lav mic. So I can finish the end of this video. And I think now it's time for analysis. These are cute. That's what they are. They're by no means professional. These aren't Electrosonics or Sennheiser G4s or anything like that. But they're not meant to be. It's a consumer level product and they're aimed at small content creators who need the freedom of wireless when creating content. There is a slight, very minute bit of latency. In case you don't know, latency is a delay in hearing the audio after the sound has been made. Like when lightning hits and a few seconds later the thunder roars. That's latency, the time it takes for the sound to arrive. Thunder and lightning have huge latency issues sometimes. Get your chart together, planet Earth. Man! The latency could be an issue for some uses, I think. You definitely could not use these in a podcast setting, you know, with headphones on. Though I don't know why anyone would. As soon as you talk and listen through the headphones at the same time, there's a very noticeable delay and it'll trip you up. Let's see if you can tell. I've done a couple of tests. You couldn't really tell, but let's just try. Did it sync up? I don't know. We're going to find out. I didn't do that test, so I'm doing that right now live as I'm talking to you. Comica has indicated that this new version 2 has better latency at less than 20 milliseconds. But that's still a lot of latency. Rode Wireless Go 2 has a latency of around 4 milliseconds. So the Comica system has a latency 5 times more than Rode does. That's considerable. But have you noticed my mouth out of sync with the audio? 20 milliseconds is barely noticeable, but I thought I'd mention it. It's important to say it. Like, I couldn't put headphones on for this video because the delay was so massive that it would disorient me. The wireless signal function on this system is fantastic. It really worked really well. As you saw, I went beyond 100 feet and with only one small dropout past that 100 feet. I don't think signal loss will be an issue at all with reasonable use, so that's great. I don't love the included lav mics, but they're fine. I'm being a mic snob again, and I always have to be careful because if you're trying to get someone's voice caught intelligibly, then these mics will do that. They do it. They do exactly that. And you know that's true because I've done just that this entire video, and you've presumably been able to hear and understand what I'm saying without issue. So as a functioning product, it works and it does what it says it'll do. Like I said a minute ago, this system isn't designed to be pro level. It's designed for the vlogger or even event shooting like weddings. For those purposes, this system is good. It'll do just what you want it to do. But I did notice something when I went to the railroad tracks to test distance. Earlier when I said there was something missing, it's the low end. I noticed that the audio is thin sounding, like all the natural bottom end is missing. Do you notice that at all? Do you notice that now? Do I sound really thin? So I wanted to check to see what was going on and if that was the mic or the transmitter or whatever that's causing a roll-off in the lows. So as you can see, there is a heavy roll-off beginning at around 100 Hertz and it drops rapidly. This isn't an issue for females or for people with higher pitch voices, but it does lose some of that natural low end for lower register speakers. So I tested it with some modified pink noise as played through a Kali Audio LP6B2 monitor. I modified it to be flat across the spectrum of human hearing all at once, so flat at 20 Hz to 20 kHz. The Kali Audio monitors can reproduce down to about 30 Hz with a slight roll-off beginning at around 50 Hz, so close enough for our purposes. I placed the mics in front of the monitor to record the full spectrum noise. Here are the results. In the middle is a noise sample showing a relatively even full spectrum. This is the control spectrum. That's the original pink noise that I modified. At the top left is the Comica lav mic directly into the Zoom H1 recorder. At the top right is the Clippy EM172 lav mic directly into the Zoom H1 recorder. And we know the Clippy is full frequency. That's why I use that. At the bottom left is a Comica lav mic plugged into the transmitter and then receiver is pumping out to the H1. And at the bottom right is a Clippy lav mic plugged into the transmitter and then the receiver is pumped out to the H1. So we can see here that the transmitter and receiver tests are rolling off easily at 100 Hertz. So we've learned something. It's not the mic that's rolling off, it's the transmitter and receiver. So no matter what mic you put on this transmitter, it's going to roll off at around 100. But if you're mixing music into the background, then all this really won't matter. But I just wanted to be thorough and let you know about this. I'd also urge caution when using your cell phones around this wireless kit. Now I had my cell phone out, I haven't checked yet, I couldn't listen to myself talking, so I have no idea what's happening, but I did have my cell phone out to read a bit of their company stuff, and I had it beside the transmitter, so we're going to find out. You probably know before me if that had any problem. Also, the screen is almost impossible to read in bright direct sunlight. It took me some time to check out the levels on the receiver. And those are the negatives. The rest is all good. The battery life was about 5 hours of full use, and the transmitters and receiver arrived fully charged right out of the box. I placed the order myself on Amazon, so it was random and not a version set up and sent to me, you know, being a reviewer. So it was just luck of the draw, and I got whatever random one fully charged. So I expect all of the kits to come fully charged when you get it. And that says a lot for the batteries retaining a charge while sitting around. I did have a chance to test it out in Chicago back in 1935 when I was using it as a wire while I was talking to Al Capone. I was monumentally underdressed. Also, this photo was snapped seconds before they figured out I was working with the feds. I never ran so fast in my life. Good times. Anyway, If you're a vlogger or an event shooter or a host of a YouTube channel, or even if you need to wear a wire to catch the bad guys, not recommended and possibly illegal, the Comica BoomX-D Pro D2 will do.
It was at that moment that I was about to say that it'll do just fine. But after working with this system in post, I must change my opinion to reflect that I think it kind of sucks. You could find much better systems out there for the same price or a little more. Okay, back to the video.
And that's it. Oh, and
You merely adopted the dock. I was born in it.
bye now. In transmission. Oh, that was a good focus. I like that. Thank you. Watch these other videos. Watch them. They're good for your health. Thank you. Why do I do this at the end of videos? I have no idea. Anyway, watch them. Those ones.